Diddy's time in custody has always been the subject of speculation, and now a prison guard has broken the silence to reveal details about his behavior while incarcerated. This information has sparked curiosity, offering a glimpse into the life of the music star under strict supervision. From daily interactions to unexpected incidents, these revelations add another layer to the high-profile case. Leave a comment below and stay tuned to uncover more surprising details and legal developments surrounding Diddy. Diddy Combs, the famous music producer, is facing a difficult time in custody, particularly regarding his food conditions. According to his attorney, Mark Agilo, after a visit on October 10, 2024, he remarked, "The food conditions are truly one of the biggest challenges my client is facing." Combs is currently being held at the Brooklyn Detention Center while awaiting trial, which is scheduled for May 5, 2025. He is facing serious charges, including money laundering and federal violations related to financial fraud. The indictment accuses Diddy Combs of long-term abuse and exploitation of women, along with many others. In prison, he follows a strict routine with breakfast at 6 a.m., lunch at 11 a.m., and dinner after the afternoon head count. The menu includes items like hamburgers, fish, beef tacos, lentils, and tofu. During the trial, Combs appeared in prison uniform, only waving to greet his family and attorney. His mother, who came from Florida, and his children were also present, showing their support for him. Prosecutors are processing a large volume of data from Diddy Combs' devices, while his attorneys have requested bail twice, but both requests were denied due to concerns that he might influence witnesses. Combs, 54, is accused of organizing illegal performances and trafficking people for unlawful purposes, and is currently being held in custody awaiting trial. Sean Diddy Combs is facing an increasingly complex situation as approximately 120 individuals have filed lawsuits accusing him of illegal conduct and exploitation. Attorney Tony Busby stated, "The wall of silence has been broken, and the victims are speaking out." He revealed that his team has received over 3,285 reports of allegations, with many of the individuals seeking medical treatment and drug testing following related events. In response to these serious allegations, Diddy's mother, Janice Smalls Combs, has spoken out in defense of her son, expressing deep pain. "As a mother, it devastates me to see my son judged by lies instead of the truth, like a public execution before being proven innocent." Life behind bars is a huge adjustment for Diddy, who was once accustomed to luxury. Timothy Smith, a former reality TV star and federal inmate, shared, "In the federal system, money doesn't buy privileges. Even basic items like sweatpants and shoes can be confiscated during searches." Diddy is facing a harsh life in prison, where he's allowed to possess only the bare minimum, such as a Bible and one book per week. Timothy Smith, a former inmate, explained that Diddy's wealth doesn't provide any privileges within the federal system. Even basic items like sportswear can be confiscated if hoarded. "There's no TV or radio, only isolation and strict conditions," Smith shared. Initially, Diddy was housed in a special management unit, isolated from other inmates. Contrary to what many might assume, he had no access to TV or radio, and his contact with the outside world was strictly limited. Inmates are only allowed 300 minutes of phone time per month, and once that time is used up, they must wait until the next month to make calls. Smith emphasized that even if Diddy were housed with other inmates, his wealth wouldn't offer many advantages, as prisoners are often subjected to racial discrimination. Diddy has been advised to accept his current situation to avoid more serious consequences. Larry Levine, a former inmate and founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants, also revealed the harsh conditions Diddy is facing. "The items in the commissary? He won't get those because the list of allowed items in the special unit is very limited. No stakes for him," Levine shared. Sean "Diddy" Combs is currently incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, which is known for its harsh conditions. Initially, he was placed in a bubble cell with transparent walls for 24/7 surveillance due to high safety concerns. Larry Levine, founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants, warned, "If he enters the general population, some inmates may take action to boost their street credibility." The conditions at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, New York, have long been heavily criticized. A judge stated that allegations of inadequate surveillance and lack of medical care are increasingly being supported by concrete evidence. He highlighted a case where a detainee was repeatedly stabbed but received no medical attention and had to endure 25 days in his cell without treatment. According to judges, staffing shortages and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic have contributed to numerous issues at MDC. The facility, known for its long history of problems dating back to the 1990s, has experienced several serious incidents. In 2019, a fire caused a power outage, leaving prisoners to live in dark and freezing conditions. In 2020, inmate Jamal Floyd died after being sprayed with pepper spray, leading to a lawsuit from his family. The Department of Justice acknowledged that the use of pepper spray was inappropriate, but found insufficient evidence of wrongdoing. Federal judges have repeatedly refused to send defendants to the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn due to concerns over safety and deteriorating conditions. Judge Jesse M. Furman allowed a defendant in a drug case to be released on bail instead of being held at MDC, while Judge Gary Brown previously stated that he would overturn a sentence if a defendant was sent to the facility. Andrew Dack, a public defender in Brooklyn, commented that MDC is overcrowded, understaffed, and lacks the political will to improve. He also shared the tragic story of his client Cordo, who died at 36 after a fight at MDC, highlighting the severe risk of violence at the facility. The poor conditions at MDC have long been controversial, with many prisoners enduring extreme temperatures, power outages, and a lack of access to basic medical services, sparking widespread criticism from human rights organizations. The conditions at MDC have prompted responses from various parties, including Congressman Dan Goldman, who called for federal oversight of the facility. He proposed increasing staffing, improving infrastructure, and addressing issues related to solitary confinement and prison violence. The Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP, which oversees MDC, has affirmed its commitment to protecting both inmates and staff, while also working to ramp up recruitment and address ongoing maintenance issues. However, efforts to improve conditions at MDC Brooklyn have faced significant challenges due to the closure of the facility's affiliate in Manhattan following Jeffrey Epstein's death, leading to severe overcrowding. Additionally, technical issues have resulted in the loss of crucial CCTV footage, raising concerns about security and management within the prison. The harsh conditions at MDC are particularly detrimental to pretrial detainees, many of whom face the risk of long sentences. Andrew Dack emphasized, life and liberty should not be weighed against the complete deprivation of human dignity. the Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP, has temporarily halted the transfer of convicted defendants to MDC, acknowledging that only a few inmates remain in the minimum security section. After the closure of the Manhattan Detention Center in 2021, following Jeffrey Epstein's death, many inmates were transferred to MDC Brooklyn and the medium-security Otisville prison, significantly increasing pressure on an already overloaded system. Prison consultant Sam Mangle referred to MDC Brooklyn as a real hell, describing it as one of the worst prisons. Initially, Diddy was placed under suicide watch, subjected to continuous 24/7 surveillance with fluorescent lights on around the clock and constant monitoring by cameras. Inmates in this category are searched every time they leave their cells, wear rubber slippers, and use special eating utensils. Even personal items like toothbrushes must be approved. Recently, Diddy was transferred to a protective custody unit designed for inmates who require special safety measures or are considered high risk. Diddy is allowed to make phone calls and use email, but all communication is closely monitored and limited to written forms, with calls costing around 5 cents per minute. Visiting hours are restricted, and visitors must undergo thorough background checks. According to Sam Mangle, the charges against Diddy make him a likely target for threats or extortion, especially in the prison environment, where individuals involved in criminal activities are often targeted. While his fame may offer some protection, he still faces a high risk of threats and mistreatment. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including the civil lawsuits, and maintains his innocence. A spokesperson for him emphasized, "Mr. Combs is a fighter. He will fight to the end to prove his innocence and is unafraid of the accusations." If convicted, Diddy could face a prison sentence ranging from 15 years to life. His legal team asserts that the allegations have not been proven and is committed to defending his rights vigorously. Regarding his detention conditions, Diddy's legal team argues that MDC is unsuitable for pre-trial detention, citing recent deaths and concerns raised by judges. They have proposed transferring Diddy to a prison in New Jersey, but the decision ultimately lies with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. U.S. Attorney Damon Williams also expressed concerns about the safety of pretrial detainees, asserting that the death of Jeffrey Epstein should not be used to speculate about similar incidents in the future. The issues at MDC Brooklyn are just a part of the larger problems facing the Federal Bureau of Prisons. But for Diddy, everything has become much more complicated. Once at the peak of fame in music and fashion, he now faces an uncertain future as allegations of criminal activity have surfaced, steering his fate in a dramatically different direction. The feud between Diddy and 50 Cent shows no signs of cooling off, with 50 Cent continuing to mock Diddy on social media, drawing attention and comments about the case. In a now-deleted Instagram post, 50 Cent wrote, "Diddy will get bail at his next court date, so keep that same energy for everything you've been saying." Diddy's arrest followed an indictment from the grand jury and a prosecutor's assessment that he posed a flight risk, leading to the decision to deny him bail. The feud between 50 Cent and Diddy has escalated further, with 50 Cent announcing plans to collaborate with Netflix on a documentary focused on the allegations against Diddy. Director Alexandria Stapleton, alongside 50 Cent, emphasized that the film will aim to give a voice to the victims and delve deeper into the story. In a joint statement, they said, "The film will tell a powerful story set against a complex backdrop that spans decades. This is not just about sensational headlines, but an effort to shed light on the truth and give a voice to those who have been harmed." Diddy, who was arrested on September 16th, is seeking bail after two proposals for a $50 million bond were denied. Judge Robin Tarnowski rejected the first request on September 17th, citing the serious nature of the charges and expressing concerns about the safety of the victims. The following day, Judge Andrew L. Carter also denied the second proposal, stating that there were insufficient assurances for community safety. In court, Diddy appeared in a black outfit accompanied by two U.S. Marshals, while his sons, Justin Combs, Quincy Brown, and King Combs, were present to show their support. Judge Carter highlighted the discovery of 6 firearms during searches of Diddy's homes earlier this year, along with subpoenas issued to his head of security. Prosecutors accused Diddy of contacting victims and witnesses, attempting to convince them that the illegal acts he organized were consensual. Additionally, they revealed that Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, had tried to escape from him, and a hired individual was involved after an incident in 2016, which was captured on hotel security footage. Diddy's legal team argued that the towel he was wearing in the video was because Cassie had taken his clothes, but prosecutors dismissed this as a blatant lie, raising doubts about his credibility. The trial became tense when Judge Carter pressed for an explanation regarding Diddy's violent behavior toward Cassie. When attorney Mark Agnifilo claimed that love and violence were two separate issues, the judge bluntly asked, "What does love have to do with him punching her or throwing a vase at her?" According to attorney Mark Agnifilo, Diddy intends to testify in the upcoming trial, although the trial date has not yet been set. Agnifilo is working to expedite the process. The indictment against Diddy contains shocking allegations, particularly related to the freak-off parties, where he is accused of using force to coerce victims into participating in acts he organized and directed, often recorded through electronic devices. Court documents reveal that evidence gathered from Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles, including baby oil and drugs, has further strengthened the allegations against him. In addition to the federal criminal case, Diddy is facing multiple civil lawsuits from women accusing him of abuse. Attorney Tony Busby has claimed that Diddy used horse tranquilizers to drug his victims, one of whom was reportedly just 15 years old. This victim is said to have been heavily drugged and taken into a private room where Diddy was present. Moreover, prosecutors have cited evidence from video footage and images obtained from Diddy's electronic devices. These materials are believed to document the freak-off parties organized by Diddy, where he is accused of using force to coerce victims into non-consensual acts. Some victims sought medical treatment after the incidents, with traces of substances like xylazine, an animal tranquilizer, found in their systems. Additionally, another victim has stated that she was monitored and threatened after attempting to report Diddy's actions. The defense argues that the allegations against Diddy are not limited to his personal conduct, but involve a support network of close associates who helped cover up his actions. According to investigative documents, several of Diddy's employees and partners are suspected of being involved or complicit in organizing the parties and remaining silent about the abuse. Prosecutors have stated that several witnesses reported being threatened to prevent them from providing testimony, emphasizing that this demonstrates the extent of Diddy's influence and efforts to obscure the truth. These pieces of evidence, combined with the allegations from victims and the civil lawsuits, have made the case a focal point of public attention, highlighting the complexity and gravity of the alleged actions. As the case continues to attract widespread attention, Stakeholders are closely watching to see whether the legal system can handle such a complex and impactful matter fairly and transparently. With the involvement of high-profile figures and serious allegations, the outcome of the case could have long-lasting implications for both the legal system and society at large. One of the prison guards responsible for overseeing Diddy broke their silence, revealing details about his behavior during his time in custody. According to the guard, Diddy mostly kept to himself and made efforts to adapt to the new environment. He adhered strictly to the rules, but the shift from a life of luxury to the harsh realities of prison life clearly had a significant impact on him. The guard also emphasized that Diddy does not receive any privileges, and every action he takes is under continuous surveillance. Additionally, the harsh prison conditions, such as the constant fluorescent lighting 24/7 and strict rules regarding personal belongings, pose a significant challenge for Diddy. What he once took for granted now has to comply with strict regulations. These revelations suggest that Diddy is not only facing legal charges, but also struggling with the severe limitations imposed in prison. These revelations not only shed light on Diddy's life behind bars, but also increase public interest in his high-profile case. Specifically, his case has drawn attention due to the complexity and seriousness of the allegations, which include violence, coercion, and the use of illegal substances. Thank you for watching today's video about insights from Diddy's prison guard, revealing his behavior and life behind bars. This information gives us a clearer picture of the real situation the rap star is facing in prison, where every move of his is under tight surveillance. If you found this content interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest developments. See you in the next video.